So out here, almost found a transmission. So today's episode, pulling a seat motor out of a Volkswagen here. Switch to, so something's weird. So I'm out with this. I don't know if this is normal. I'm gonna kind of put this online and see what everybody thought, but is it normal for a junkyard to charge an 11% environmental fee? Something I was wondering here. That couldn't really figure that out. So weird. So I got these front two bolts out of the rail. These are M10s, triple squares. So yeah, I was out here earlier, dressed up like Michael Myers or someone from Home Alone or some shit. Out here in the heat, man. It's, you know, it's only 60 degrees, but it feels like it's 90, man. It's heating up over here. So yeah, today ain't really much about how to, just kind of messing around. So film my show, you know what I mean? So for some reason these are locked. Can't even get in the back seat, so we're gonna have to reach that from the passenger side. So one thing about junkyards, watch your stuff. Thankfully ain't nobody out here today, so it's kind of just me, and I think I saw one other person, but yeah, kind of pissed because they had this exact transmission I needed. And by the way, I'm coming back for these seats. These are actually in good shape, but right now I need the motors because some dude at Les Schwab screwed up the motor, man. So it happens, but there we go. Got the M10. I'm using a flex head, so it's kind of hard, but I ain't got nowhere to stick this either, so I'm kind of one-handing this one, so with a flex head, so that'll give me a break. So yeah, just one of those days, man. I thought I was gonna get lucky, and this car I'm looking for a transmission for, it was only made for 3 years with limited slip, and there's no swappable transmissions unless you want to cut part of the subframe into a 6-speed, which by the way I'm thinking about doing. But I've also thought about just getting rid of the car, kind of debating on what I'm going to do with it. The nearest one I can find that's already pulled is like well over 1,000 miles away, but let me see here. Yeah, out here doing my thing, so this is what it is, just kind of coasting through, but hope y'all are well. Easter's around the corner, so I was happy to have that one piece off, man. I've sweating out here. So, yeah, it's hard to find seats like this for a Volkswagen. They're good condition, but mind you, I'm working on a Mark V, but the transmission I'm looking for is not to a Volkswagen, so it's a Japanese one. But let's check this back. So we're going for a seat motor here, trying to get this thing to work. So we got to kind of tear it apart and get the motor out of it, but mainly what we need right there is that switch right there. So I kind of set this like here, so looking at it, you can see it sits a certain way in here, so we're gonna flip it all the way back. Okay, so you can see our switch in there, which is annoying, bro, the way they put this one together, because the plastic on here is just, it ain't easy to get it off. It is not easy. So now this here, I ain't doing this one by the book. So when it comes to my car, you bet your ass, but when you're in the junkyard, is what it is. So popping caps off. Alright, so we're gonna get this out without busting that seat switch. This is one of the main things we need here. When you're looking for your motor to it, follow your wires back. You got this, it goes to here, it wraps up in there, man. It's part of the rail, so yeah, it ain't fun, I'm telling you. It's buried pretty deep. I'm pretty sure it's on the back side of this here, so we gotta take a frame kind of apart here. So kind of looking at it, it's kind of full of clips here, man. You got clips, teeth, and all sorts of stuff in here. So you're working through this, you're pulling, basically pulling the harness up out. It ain't fun doing this one. Something I will tell y'all is it's not fun doing a seat motor in this thing. What you can do to get the switch out, by the way, if you look in there, pull one at a yard and stuff, kind of look around, go, okay, first thing I do for the switch, where's your plastic mounting points? So you got a screw there. You can just feel around, man. Just feel around, feel around. Got one screw in the back. You got a post that goes through there. It's that post, man. You're gonna be taking off a lot of stuff. So, but you might be able to actually slide it out. First things first, let's grab a Phillips, short one. Yeah, what's up with this 11%, man? That shit, I don't even know what to say about that. That was one I was like, first time in years I've ever been to a junkyard, you give me an 11%. That's like, what are y'all doing here? So, oh, it's in. Oh, ain't no Phillips either. Push pin, so. Well, we're busting shit, so hold up. Alright. So the way these work, you got a wing clip right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a wing clip. We're gonna get this one out kind of unarmed here, so no problems. It's a pain in the butt to get them out, but if you pull hard enough, you can generally get them. So I got one side undone right there. It's easier if you get it out of the car. That's what you flip it like this, you can see a lot better. So you kind of fight the thing in here, which is kind of dumb, but that's what it is. So the airbag's off on this one. So there's our switch right there. As you can see, it takes Torx right there. So there's multiple options we can take here to get that out. You kind of see that. This is why I hate doing it in the car. I much rather take these out, so I might just rip this book so I can see it out real quick. Alright, hold up. There. I'll kind of throw it back in when I'm done here, but there's our switch, alright? So where we mounted to with plastic. You got a rod that's sitting in here like that, with a bolt that runs to it. That bar runs to basically part of your motor. So your motor in this, it runs up and down, not back and forth. You have a slide pole right there. So the Volkswagen is kind of weird. It just has some weird things to it. Getting the seat motors out, I usually buy brand new online, but what I'm looking for is a OEM switch and an OEM motor. I don't really like going aftermarket with Volkswagen. There's just something about it. Too many times, I'll grab a pick too. Too many times I've reached into these things and I've put a aftermarket seat motor in, and that thing goes out in like a month. So they go out, man. Unless you order straight from Germany or Audi or Volkswagen, whatever you do. Yeah. Still chewing gum, ain't smoking cigars, so just heads up. Doing pretty good with it too, man. I advocate for people to quit, especially if you're in like hands-on type of work, man. I'm always off and on with it, you know. But I think now it's kind of time where I decided to set it down for good and some cigars, man. Some of them are just really good. That's the problem. So looking at our switch in there, there really isn't much room to run. There's a Torx bit in there, which is complete bogus. It's that back one right there that's really tough to get out. You can get this one out. Getting that out is kind of tough. So reinstalling it in your car, dog. So you have to be super careful. So learn what you're doing. Learn how to take plastic off without busting it when it comes to the junkyard car. So of course, you know, you can yard on them, do this, do that, whatever. But it's easier if you know where all your mounting bolts are. Of course, people look online, do this and that, whatever. So you see our levers in the way too. So we gotta take the handle off. A lot of that, we've taken that off, is just right off of there. So we'll grab a ratchet. I don't even know if my ratchet's still back here, to be honest. It could be. Let me take a look. So no, I didn't. I still got it. So it's just one of them things, man. Best place to learn how to work on your car is a junkyard. Because if you screw it up, it's already in here. Some people might say that's messed up, but hey, if you screw it up, at least you ain't screwing up your car. That's kind of how I see it. I don't really think people at junkyard care either. So, alright. Let's now line up our size here. Realistically, we need to flip this too, so I'm gonna put y'all right there. 11%, man, that's pissing me off. You gotta be messing with me right now. 11%. What? Environmental foods you already get the cash from? Sorry, that didn't sit well with me. So, okay. Like that. And once in a while you get lucky, found a couple quarters. Can't go wrong there. There's my 11% back. Okay, so what I mean by lock and key is a lot of these cars will have a job that you have to have something particular in order to get something off. But you know what, I might just do a little bit of rundown on these really quick while I'm here, so I can kind of show you under the hood. There's a reason for that. So you know what, I might actually come back to junkyards and teach people some things, because it's easier to learn, or it's easier to teach when I'm around it all. So when I'm on the job or I'm doing something, you know, this is a personal vehicle, so this is different. Because a lot of times, you know, it's when I'm doing work on somebody else's car. Very straight, very particular, to the point. This is this, this is this. This is how we're gonna do it, yada yada yada. You guys have seen it already, so. But it comes down to being in the junkyard. You can kind of yard things apart and show people, you know, this is how this is held together, this is how this is held together, yada yada yada. So I think this is a T20. Okay. Alright. That's a T15. Sorry, I thought it was a T20. So the way I've done it here, when you pull this off the bar, you can twist it, so you don't have to remove this necessarily. I loosened one already, but if you are able to get this bar disconnected from the upper piece, you can spin it a little bit without damaging it, because of course I went kind of rough on it, so you don't have to yard on it. It twists so you can get the switch out. This is kind of a pain in the butt, but let's see if we can do it. Kind of got it like this. I don't even know if y'all can see it, but with the sensors like this, sometimes you can spin them by hand with a socket. There you go. There's your seat switch. So, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a seat motor for this video, if I'm just going to do a switch. And it could be that just my switch is bad. I don't know. So, okay. So of course, the bar's got to go. So, T15 on this one. Will not spin it. Then we got a T30 for it. So yeah, what else can I say for you guys? I mean, it's been a heck of a year so far. Realistically, I've just been cleaning up and trying to make room is what I've generally been doing here. Ain't got no dang room, so might let's see if I can hang it here. There we go. My little mini shop that I got running right now, I had the transmission in there and I was disassembling it, the one from my other car, and the axle was stuck. I was pounding it out. I used a slide hammer, all sorts of stuff on it. It just wouldn't go. So I diagnosed it that the axle somehow got stuck in the ring gear, and I don't know if there was something wrong with the synchro or the axle that was given to me. It seemed like to me that there was something wrong with the axle. Maybe it was a little bit too long. There was no snap ring on it, so it's a half shaft that goes in the transmission that got stuck. The other side, I was able to kind of, the driver's side that had a snap ring, cake. It came out like butter. It really wasn't that bad. But it's the first time I've ever had a CB axle with no snap ring get stuck in a transmission. Realistically, it should be free sliding in and out. I hit it with slide hammer. I used a ratcheting strap around the brake caliper, or the brake rotor, and around the boot. I mean, I went ham on it. So, I'm looking for this transmission, and there's only 3 years that it's made, so it's just, and I've come across about 1 million automatics. The problem with automatic is the 5-speed runs an existing linkage, but you have to run the cables for it. And there's the bar. You gotta run the cables for it. Through the firewall. So they have existing holes and this and that. Well, they actually have indentations where you drill them, which is even more annoying. So that's why I've kind of considered on getting rid of the car. I might actually pick up something a little more fun to work on. Well, this one's fun, but it's not fun. It's more challenging. Not really sure. I like to stick to Infinities and Nissans and Japanese, but I might actually go American. I'm getting a work van going right now too, so one thing I'm going to be doing is posting videos on how to fix work vans, which is, there's not much online. I didn't really see anything on there. It's kind of weird, but you hardly see anything online about repairing work vans, E1, E250 Fords, the Chevy Expresses. You don't really see anything about it, so I was kind of scratching my head going, what's up with that? Probably because people don't like to do it, which, to be honest with you, I can't blame you for that, because they're not fun. A lot of people I've seen that sell them, they just hawk them and get rid of them, man. They don't even want them. I don't really blame you for it. It's kind of, here's what it is. But we get up here and let's go. Let's grab the bags. So yeah, I can't really blame you on this. One of those things. It's if you ain't got the patience to work on it, man, that's kind of where I was at with it. Is if you don't have the patience to work on the E150s or E250s, then it takes patience. I mean, if you do a head gasket in one of those, if you have done one, then you know how I feel about it. The transmissions in them, they're freaking easy to swap out, man. That's one thing I do say about the work vans is people sell them a lot of times because the transmission blew up. Really, just if you get a replacement one, it really isn't that bad, dude. Just, you can use a freaking floor jack for it, so Okay, these are triple squares here. Okay. So the Chevy Express is a lot easier. That's just my entire outlook on it. Okay, let's grab a pry bar really quick. I'm not really being nice to this thing out here, so I don't really care, to be honest. I just need to see motor, so. Okay. A couple more triple squares, but I might come back for this lower cushion. That's kind of what I'm looking at, but what is it, M8? A little smaller than the. There we go. A little bit smaller than the other size, so the one's on the floor. So because this is a junkyard seat, we're just gonna start snipping. I will say, disassembling seats isn't really my favorite thing. I'm just gonna take this back. If you cut that top part, this is if you just want the motor and the bottom cushion. You can cut these wires in here, and you can see all of them go unplug, unplug, okay? And this one runs all the way and unplugs. So technically you can take the whole bottom seat and just snip those wires, and you'll take your existing harness and you'll unplug and pull it through. So technically you can just, if you want the bottom seat cushion, you can take just this, and this, and this, unplug, leave the rest of this in, and do it that way. Pulled off. You do this, get the cushion off, and just all good. So, okay. Looking at me small myriad selection tools on there. See what the heck we got. But got a whole bag over there, but I ain't really pulling from it. So. Okay, got one side off there. Come on the edge. Mind you, when I film the reinstall, it's going to be a lot cleaner than this. So I'm not cutting wires or doing this and that. Ain't like that. This is just getting this apart and kind of. I'm really just messing around in the yard today, kind of seeing how it's put together too. So those of you that just do online videos, it's good for you. I don't really care. Zip tie. Clip. Said this thing up. So when I do the seat install, I'm gonna do the motor reinstall. I'm not gonna be throwing it around on the ground and doing gravel too much. I'll have it on a bench. So you can kind of see. Let's try a trim tool. I'll have it on a bench so you can kind of see it and go, oh, okay. But if you go in there and pop, the easy way to do is stick a trim tool in there and pop it. That way you don't break your clips on there, your clips, so you can get it back on. And mind you, this entire video is a disaster. I really don't care. So. It's mainly me just doing what I'm doing, hanging out. So you can see after you get it unclipped, pull it. But I've never pulled one of these apart personally, so I don't really see any motor on top. So I may have just pulled something apart for no reason, but I know the guts of it now. So, believe it or not, I actually go to junkyards and just pull stuff apart sometimes. I'm kind of weird, so it's weird. But to be honest with you, maybe you'll find something in my video that you didn't know before. It ends up something that you need, or you figure out, or this, or this, or that. So switch. So being that there's no motor in it, what we can do is take a little stroll down to the junkyard there, and there's another Volkswagen, I think it's a GTI or a Golf, but it's a 2.0 turbo. It's the same engine I got in mine, which I got another video coming for you guys. I'm doing a camshaft chain and tensioner on it, and I have heard that job is a potential nightmare. They sell a kit for it, and I'll recommend getting the kit because it's on Amazon, dude. It's like 40 bucks, freaking cheap. So you can get it from Amazon. $40 for a kit. It comes with the camshaft tool. It comes with a special T50 bit that is used for, I think it's a camshaft phaser or something like that. But it's got a bolt that goes through it, and there's a lot. So they sell like a chain kit for, I think, what is it, like, I think the chain kit's like 150 bucks, and it comes with a chain, a phaser, and a tensioner, and a new bolt too. But I've actually heard that taking those bolts out of there, the T50 out of there, is the camshafts actually lock them in, so they are just like hell to get out, dude. HE double hockey sticks to the max, dog. It's really bad. It's bad. So, alright, we're gonna take a little ride here, so let's make sure we got everything up. So what we learned from here, well, we learned a couple things, because I don't know anything about Volkswagen seats. These pop off. I just went for it like Rambo on this thing, got it. Second, mandatory take your bar off if you're getting anything off when it comes to your sensor or your switch, which I put in there. It's pretty much straightforward. So we're gonna go look for a seat motor in the other one. There's one more here, so we'll take a look at that and teach you guys the reinstall. So we got that one. We'll leave it up front here. Nice little fun ride. Whew. Okay, so this one has no switch. So we're gonna take a look at some of these other ones. See what we can find here. But we look underneath, you see the same belly pan, No motor, of course, an airbag, yada yada. So we're just gonna kind of take a look. If we can't find a seat motor, I'm gonna order one. I don't really understand it, but here's one that's got an electric switch on it. This one's like a Passat or something. What do we see? There's nothing there. Maybe they don't run motors too. That's kind of strange. But there's another Vita, but I don't want to leave that there. It's one thing I don't do in junkyards. I don't leave my tools unattended. I got a story for you, so let me see here. I was living up north, and that one's not gonna help. I ended up going through a Craftsman set. I had a Craftsman go-through ratchet set, pretty expensive. It's like $80 or $100. I had it on sale, but it was my most useful tool I ever bought. I haven't bought one since, but I had it sitting out right in front of me. I was working at a junkyard. I was pulling an engine out of a car, out of an Eclipse, and let's see what we got in there. Nothing. Coming up empty. So, okay, what we're gonna do here is look in my existing car and see what's in there. It might just need a switch. I don't really understand that. So I left my Craftsman set out on the ground, and I was working underneath an engine bay, and I think I was pulling like bell housing bolts out of the transmission or something, and somebody walked right by it and just picked it up and was gone. And since then I'm super weird about my tires, man. It just freaks me out a bit, so maybe I'll give you a ride back up there on the front. Post it up. There's one more down The weird thing is, you look online and you see they have motors. Well, that's the same switch, so bam. So I believe that might be the seat motor right there. It looks about right, man. So I think that's what we're looking for. So I just assembled a seat for no reason today, but at least you got to see the guts of it and how to take the cushions off. But that could be the motor we're looking for. Looks like it wraps around. I can't really see, so the camera's gonna get a better view. I think there's a pencil in there. What the hell is that? So that's what we're looking for. We'll come back and get it. So looks like we're looking at a 2000 Passat. And the problem is too, is if you look at it, that single switch was in the GTI versus you have fully power. This is the switch we took, so, and even that one is different than the one that we pulled out. So, well, maybe not. I think that's actually the same switch, but you look at it, these are actually nice seats too. So need to look under the Volkswagen to see what we're even looking at. But today, to be honest with you, I'm not even doing a how-to. I'm just walking around the junkyard. I originally came for a transmission, so I shake my fist at the 11%, and maybe I'll find what I have been thinking is maybe I'll find a parts car and buy a parts car and do it. But I've been down with this car for, shoot, I think 9 months now. So me and the girl, the Volkswagen's her car. I just share it with her. So my car's been down. I've been looking for a van. I come across some. I had a Tahoe for a while that I was working out of that had a 350 engine in it that was pretty nice, but the entire interior just molded over, and it was bad. A bad windshield. It was cracked windshield, but it had just some problems with the window seals and stuff. So I just canned it. So I'm in the works for another van, something to work at. And until then, I've been working out of the GTI, which is like, that's not easy for a motor mechanic to do, because you're working out of a hatch when it's like, I really need a van or something that'll work. So anybody in Salem, Oregon, or surrounding areas looking to get rid of a van, I don't care, as long as it's not a 5.4 Ford. Freaking trash, dude. I'm sure you'll hear me talk a lot about the 5.4s, man. I'm just not a fan of them, so working on them. Here's the deal: I'll do some spark plugs on one of them, and then come talk to me. And then you'll look at the engine and go, "Oh yeah, no, I'm okay." Just try head gasket on it, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's a one-time thing." So, yep. Looks like we're just buying a seat switch today. I have a feeling that motor maybe goes to the other two switches. I'm not sure, so we're going to go out to the parking lot and take a look underneath my GTI, see what's going on there. So then we'll just buy a seat switch, turn off, I'll make sure we're still rolling, okay. Turn off the flashlight here so they don't think I'm crazy, but these seats one more time here. Grill. Yeah, she's calling me now. Might be back for those if I had got a guy that's got a Sentra right now that wants 350 seats. I might be able to do it. So. It's a big hill, man. Yeah, Del Sol. That didn't look too bad. $34.99. That's a builder right there, man. Have some fun in that. Huh. I'll think about it. Okay, make my way in there. Freaking heavy bag. So I'm gonna set you here. If I pay over here? If I pay here at the counter? Okay, thank you. Oh, put aside. Dude, it's heavy.
I bet.
More than I needed. So, just a seat switch. I couldn't find a motor for it. So, the water's like 10 feet away.
$13.86.
Okay.
Do you have a membership with us?
I don't know. Probably should. Does it cost anything? No?
Nope, just first name, last name, phone number, email.
Maybe I'll do it next time. That's okay.
Well, that's almost as bad as that one person in Tillamook who left her kid out and went right into the fucking river.
But 7 miles? How do you not know if your child's missing?
Well, how do you
enough for them to walk 7 miles away?
How do you
Yeah,
not
that's
know?
wild.
Why would you leave your kid when you know he loves water out by himself?
Yeah.
I mean, the kid was fine.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
It was just like, it was just in my ears.
Dude, $13 for a Switch. To be honest with you, it's not bad. I've looked all over the internet. I haven't found one. The ones that I have are eBay. I don't know if I trust them. I got an easy return policy here. So, should probably sign up for the rewards program. I just thought about that. Okay. By the way, I was ready for a transmission. I had the tarp ready to go, so I was ready. I was almost there. I swore I had it, man. Okay. Let's take a look under the seat. Let me keep this flashlight back on. Okay. Let's take a look under the GTI seat. You can see we have our switch there, which might have been what burnt. Let's go underneath. We have no motor there. So it looks like I tore apart a seat for no reason. Sorry guys, but you know what the guts look like now. Yeah, a lot of people say you're a backyard mechanic. Well, screw off. It's better that I understand it anyway. Well, let me get out real quick. I'll show you something. These seats right here, they're starting to tear. So I'm going to be looking for a new back. So something that's, I actually thought that my bottom was ripped. Maybe it was this one. Oh, water. It's actually, yeah, I've got some, well, my girl, she owns it. She's got some bad leather here. Yeah, so I'm gonna be looking for a bottom to a passenger and a top to that. I might have some rips. It's mainly this seat right here. So what's easy about taking this is reverse order. You don't cut it and you just pull the clips through and you can take this entire top piece. So next time, well, the one that was in there actually had some rips on it, so I wouldn't have been interested in it anyway. So I'm looking for a good seat, and chances are, I have a weird feeling maybe our switch was bad. So as you can see, we are not moving at all. So could be a switch. I've already checked for a fuse, haven't really found nothing. Still trying to figure out what's going on with that. Oh dude, water, dude. It is freaking hot. Oh, so yeah, man, that's where we're at. When I get back home today, I'll probably add it to the video. I'm just gonna cut the video once I leave here, but I'm gonna install that switch and show people how to do it without gouging stuff and not as messy of a job. I don't even know why I documented that. It was just fun. So you'll probably see me do this a lot on my channel where it's not labeled as a certain job, but it's Junkyard Trip. So I don't know why, but like I see all these people online that like do like you have TRQ, they do it like, you know, step by step. I enjoy doing that, but I also enjoy just documenting the experience. That's kind of how it is for me. Maybe I'm a little weird, I don't know. What I can tell you is every time you go into a yard, a junkyard, and you tear something apart like I just did, you'll learn something new from it. So what did I learn? Well, I learned that you can unclip and you don't have to cut when it comes to those wires, but I was just deboning it and throwing stuff around. A lot of people might cringe when they see it. I don't really care. laugh at it, call me a bad mechanic, tell me what you want. I don't care. What I do know now is I don't have to cut mine in my seat. I'm not going to make that mistake with mine. So think of that seat as the guinea pig. When you go to the junkyard, maybe you see some of this as a guinea pig. So things like seats and headliners, stuff that are really complicated. When it comes to a freaking cylinder head, you're going to do it by the books. I'm not going to be shooting stuff. Well, I might throw stuff everywhere because I already have the hardware. But certain things are straightforward. I'll just do it. You'll probably see me come to junkyards a lot, especially for people like friends of mine that they usually hire me here. It's $40. Have a beer together. Let's get this done. So you'll probably see me document this a lot. I'm still using the body cam. It's still working for me. So hey, whatever. But
trust me, if I had a bad day, I'd have tested your jaw. Okay. And I'd have got my homegirl to test your jaw. I ain't tripping on jail. I trip on respect.